You're listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Being a thought leader is easy. Getting results is hard. This show is for the results leader who lives and dies by their results. Here is your host and Chief Results Leader, Jonathan Rivera.
Yes, y'all. It's time once again for ResultsLeader.fm. And I have a question for you today. How would you like more growth, more freedom, more coolness in your life? Good news. Today's guest, Mr. Scott Hudspeth, will give you exactly that. Now, he turns mortgage loan officers into millionaire loan officers, but the lessons that he shares on today's show can be for anyone in sales who wants more growth, more freedom, and more coolness. Let's jump in. Scott, welcome to the show, my man. Let's dive in. The first question I have for you today is an easy one. What book or books have you given most as a gift?
Man, that's easy. My book, it's called Millionaire Loan Officer. That's the one that I actually give out several every single week. So if you'd like one, just look me up and I'll send it right to you.
So there's so many people out there that want to write a book. How do you use the book in your business?
Man, that's a great question. So I see a book as, and everybody has a story, and putting that story into a book, I think is the greatest thing you can do for yourself to let people know who you are, what you do for a living, how you got to where you are, what's next. And it kind of gives people an insight of something that you can't necessarily talk about in 5 minutes. So it's a beautiful thing it's kind of like your new business card, but with way more authority, if you will. Instead of having somebody a business card, I just go, oh, hey, here's my book. Check it out. My number's on the back. What? So it's kind of like the people that don't do video marketing and the people that do video marketing, those guys are on a different plateau. And then you take video marketing, you put a book to it. Now you're on another plateau. It's just one of those ways to, one, put who you are into a book, maybe who you want to be or who you've helped. My daughter's writing a book. I love it that she's got a book that she's talking about. I don't want to say the name or anything, but whatever inspired her to do it, she's already got 9 pages done. And I'm all excited for her. So she's doing that. So it's just putting who you are and what you do and what you've done or where you want to go into a nice formatted book to give to people.
Now, what's the book do for you, though? Because I'm reading the book now and it looks like it's specifically designed to do something.
Yeah, it's an amazing story to let people know that you can defy all odds and become a true millionaire loan officer. The story, I don't want to give it away until you read it or have read it, but it's a true story. And it's a lady that I've worked with personally that I have W-2'd over $1.2 million in a single year. And she was a processor in the mortgage business, making $38,000 a year was her best year. And she did not want her kids to have the childhood that she had. So she defied the DISC profile. She defied all odds to be successful and provide her kids. She had a huge why, and she's providing her kids something that she wanted to provide that she didn't get as a child. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Your show probably will be out by the time that this airs, but it's that freedom button that I see in there. So let's move on. Tell me a story of how an apparent failure set you up for later success.
Man, so I think the number one thing that I love to talk about when you say failure is what everybody has is being comfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. And so where a lot of people get into business and they're uncomfortable, so you get comfortable being uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is you have to be okay having lots of conversations. And where I'm going with this is I started as a Kirby, believe it or not, you're going to laugh at this. My number one sales experience that I cherish more than anything is I went door to door selling Kirby vacuum cleaners, believe it or not. It was the most difficult, hardest, getting doors slammed in your face, going in and presenting a vacuum cleaner, having a closer come in and try to close the consumer. And it was very enlightening that, wow, door-to-door works, because I did sell vacuum cleaners, but it set the foundation for, man, if I can knock on a door and sell a vacuum cleaner, what else can I really do? And so that was one of the biggest, I tell this story all the time. Hey, man, I truly believe if you're going to be in sales, you should go sell vacuum cleaners. I really do. Because if you can deal with the negativity, you can deal with the no's. What I realized is every no has a value attached to it. And so if you get 10 no's and the 11th no is a yes and you make $1,000, how much is each no worth? Each no is worth $100. Unbelievable, right? So if you change the mental capacity of, fear of rejection, fear of failure, I suck, I'm not any good, I can't do this, it won't work for me, to, man, if I get enough. And so you can literally dictate and control your business by knowing how many no's it takes to get a yes, just by pushing yourself past that fear of rejection, fear of failure. No, 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 no. Yes. Oh my God. No, 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 no. Yeah. And the better you get, the less no's you get to get a yes. And that's what I learned selling those vacuum cleaners, because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to sell a vacuum cleaner. There's no way. I'm going to knock on a door, offer a free thing of soap to demo this machine, and then sell it. No way. And then when it happened, I'm like, oh, holy crap, man. That's crazy. Enough no's equals a yes. Crazy, right?
I love that quote. Every no has a value attached to it. That is a clip that we're definitely going to want to use. Now, let's talk about investments. And what I'd like to know is, what would you say is the most worthwhile investment you have ever made?
Man, one of them is just investing in myself. When we all have moments, we all have stories. I get asked this question all the time, Jonathan, and what drives me? And I'm like, I wish I had the answer to that, but I'm always looking for that next best thing, and what's next, and what's next, and what's next. And so I think investing in conversations, investing in people, investing in listening, emotions. One of the coolest things, I just thought of it because I had to think about it for a second. Probably one of the coolest things that I invested in is I hired a body language coach. And it was the most intriguing thing that I've ever done in my life, knowing that you can't control the 5 micro expressions. So when I'm talking to somebody, like for example, as a mortgage professional or real estate professional, when you're talking to somebody, you can literally read them and they don't know that you're reading them. When you ask them a question, you know if it's true, lie, maybe, And so that was probably the best investment I've ever made, because I work with people every single day. And not only that, she taught me how to work with people on a phone, because most of my business is by phone. So I said, well, how do I know if they're telling me the truth by phone? She goes, at the very beginning of the presentation, I'm telling you all my tricks here. At the very beginning of the presentation, I say, hey, Jonathan, I'm going to take notes. So if you hear a little moment of silence, just know that I'm writing. And so they're like, for some reason, they've proven that has people tell you more truth than not, because they know you're taking notes. So if they tell you something, they don't remember what they said, and now it's different. They know they can't lie.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
I love that.
Right?
I got to get me one of those.
I know, right?
That's awesome, man.
I'm telling you, it's still, she's a good friend of mine. So if you want me to introduce you, I'm more than happy to make that introduction.
Super cool, man. So think back over the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
So I think cold calling. So I always like to go in a position or a place where there's no competition. I've always said in cold calling, there's very few people who will push through that comfortable being uncomfortable, fear of rejection, fear of failure. And that's where there's no competition. And I know there's a ton of fear. It's kind of like public speaking, right? So few people will ever bust through and just go do it. One of the changes I've made is I pushed through, and like 1 month I made like 1,300 phone calls, talked to 238 people. And I just wanted to see if that fear would go away. And believe it or not, at the end of the month, it was still there. I'm like, okay, this is really weird. Like 1,300 calls, 238 conversations, so much rejection. Like, what is it inside of us humans that scares us to pick up the phone and have a conversation? 1, if we've never talked to them. 2, if we've talked to them, but it's been a long time and I don't want to look stupid because I never followed up with them. And so, but now fast forward 1 year later, I have the fear's gone. I have zero fear. I have zero fear of anything, of talking to anybody, any rejection. very seldom now that I've done so much of it, hear something that I haven't helped for. And one of the biggest things I realized is one way to go into a cold call is to remove the expectation of anything in return, which removes the wants from the other person. So the fear of rejection goes away because I'm not being rejected on anything. I'm not looking for anything. So removing that fear of expectation from whoever I'm talking to, but just try to help them with whatever it is by asking them the right questions has helped me to really excel in a place that there's no competition.
What are some bad recommendations you hear in your area of expertise?
Bad recommendations are doing things that doesn't have to do with having conversations. It drives me nuts when people try to sell people things to hide behind having a conversation. It really bugs me because what
do you mean by that? Because I get what you're saying, but maybe our listeners don't get it. What do you mean by not having conversations and hiding?
So, like Facebook, hey, what message can I put on Facebook to get a referral? I see this, what CRM system can I use that does all this stuff for me where I don't have to talk to people? Like if you're in sales, you have to talk to people, and people try to hide behind all this social media and systems and CRMs and automated text and automated voicemail drops and all this stuff. And they just think that there's going to be money flowing in and deposits into their bank accounts. And it makes me laugh. I'm like, dude, I love it that you're buying into that because that's just one more person I have to worry about competing against, right? Because I'm going to actually talk to the person. I'm not going to drop them a voicemail. I just haven't been a fan of systems and social media for the reason of thinking false pretense of I'm going to make money with that stuff.
Here is why I love you, man. I was on an interview last week and the guy asked me, what tech would you recommend? Kind of similar to what you're saying there. And I'm like, yeah, check out this really cool tech. It's called a phone. And you punch in digits and somebody answers on the other end. It's crazy.
What? It does what? Yeah, but then I got to talk to somebody. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right. People are, and that's it, man. People are afraid to talk to people. And I'm like, where are you going to make money then? How do you make money? Please explain it to me because I don't get it.
Yeah, and to take it a step further, like to ask for referrals, like what about email? What's the best email marketing? There's not. Like you can't ask, hey, who do you know and care about that I can also help out by email? People aren't going to half of the people aren't going to read the email. Two, they're not going to read like what does he want? And like text or like all that stuff. I mean, like to be present in their lives will help you when you have the conversation. But think about it. You think Mark Zuckerberg would have like already done this if it was available? Like you're not going to buy a system that's going to get you referrals and put money in your bank account without having conversations. In my eyes, man, if I'm wrong, please call me and show me what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's priceless.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for a public service announcement. We're going to get right back into this show, but I wanted to ask you a question. If you have been listening to the show for any amount of time and you've picked up even one single tip, then I need your help. Get the word out. Tell people about resultsleader.fm. Share it on social media. Share it on your email. Share it anywhere. #ResultsLeaderFM. Now let's jump back into the interview. All right, now we're going to get into the namesake of the show. Scott, why do results matter?
Well, for most people, they matter. Like I'm results driven. I love, that's the sad part about me. I love to try. I'm a shoot, fire, aim guy. And I love the results. So like, for example, I did this, I'm in the mortgage business. So I did this BK mailer, people that have filed bankruptcy. We used to have a company that would do one day out of BK as long as you had a 580 score. I'd send out a mailer. My phone would ring off the hook. I'm like, cool, man, it worked. All right, what else am I going to do now? I didn't want to answer the phone and talk to people back then when knowing what I know now. Like I don't want to talk to them. Like, hey, it worked. So now I'm going to go show other people, So that's what I would say is, what was the question again, brother?
Why do results matter?
Why do results matter? Well, they only matter if you have a why and you have a reason why you're doing what you're doing and you're happy about it. No matter what the result, if you're not happy, you're probably only going to do it for so long. And so depending on what you want that result to be, just make sure you're happy doing it, And sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's what makes you feel good. So what do you want the result to be? And that's a question that a lot of people struggle with, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what result do you want out of this? Well, I haven't thought about that. So, man, results are everything, dude.
I love it. That's another quotable. Results are everything. So in the last 5 years, what new realization has helped you get better results for your clients?
That's a tough one because I try that thing you were talking about that you push buttons into and it like calls people. I try to get them to have, and it's the magical number, and everybody's going to freak out when they hear it. It's 13 conversations per day. And for the last 5 years, probably for my last 10 years, is what we found is if you have 13 conversations per day, that would equal one referral or doable deal per day. That was what has been the number. If you have to make 100 calls to get 13 hellos, and everybody goes, well, does the text message count if they respond? No. Does an email count if they respond? No. It's a conversation on that thing you push in and call them. That's a conversation when they say hello and you say hello back and you have a conversation. 13 hellos. And there's other pieces that go to that. Like you have to ask for the referral, you have to ask for the business, but that's been the magical number is 13 hellos. And that's what I try to get everybody that I talk to or coach with or work with to have on a daily basis. And you'd be surprised how hard that is.
What area of your business would you like better results?
I got pretty good results right now. I think if I could, and I'm a man of what I say and teach and preach. I average about 500 calls outbound per week. I would say that if I can, here's a funny one, man, you're going to laugh. If I could get more people to answer their phone, I would have better results. So if I could the number one thing in sales, I Googled this one time, it's been a long time ago, I'm sure you can find it, but 85 to 90% of the time, the first person to answer or call back gets the deal. For a realtor that's listening, if the first person to get the listing presentation is like 85% chance to get the deal. So if I could just get enough people to do that, and for myself, I'm always implementing this. Other people making calls for me to set appointments for me. I'm calling to make appointments, right? Other people making appointments for me. So, and I teach that as well. If people go, man, Scotty, I can't set the appointment. But if someone can set it for me, I'm really good at showing up. That's what I've done that as well. I just do both. Instead of or, it's and. I do it and I have callers doing it as well. So that's the big one.
What results are you most proud of?
I'd say that I've been with the same company for 10 years and I've surrounded myself with some amazing people that are amazing at what they do. And we've all figured out what our lanes are. And we all help each other to stay in our own lanes, which, it's kind of like having a band, a drummer, a guitar player, the singer. When the band is all hitting on all 8 cylinders and sounding really good, it's just amazing what happens with the results. So I think I'm just proud of, I think I'm the happiest that I've found the people that I have and surrounded myself with them. And we've stuck together through thick and thin. It's not always perfect. And we've mastered staying in our own lanes. That's probably the most proud. I mean, it's 10 years now. So that's pretty impressive for any band to stay together and have success after success, best month after best month, over and over and over again, best year after best year. That's been exciting.
Now we're coming up to the end. Any parting thoughts for the results leaders out there?
Yeah, man, I got a big one. So be you, do you. And more importantly, the day that you stop caring about what other people think about you is the day you start living. Learned that. I got to give that to Gary Vaynerchuk. He's the one that taught me that. So many people are worried about what other people think. Obviously, it's a huge crisis in the world today, especially in sales. Like, I don't want to do video, Scott, because I sound stupid or I look whatever, or I sound whatever. And so when you stop caring and start doing, you attract people that are attracted to you and you repel people that you wouldn't want to work with anyway. And that has been the biggest thing for me. The day I heard that, when I just said, man, you know what? I don't have to be everything to everybody. There's one of me and thousands of them. And the right people will come around and the wrong people will go away. And thank God, because I don't want to be everything to everybody. I want to help the right people. So that's what I'd say to everybody that's in business of any kind. Just be you, do you, and stop caring about what other people think and let people be attracted to you who want to be attracted to you, don't force it.
Beautiful, man. I know that everyone listening is going to want more from you, where can they go?
Probably the biggest spot is scotthudspeth.com is my website. And I'm thankful that you're going to be adding amazing content to that I'm going to be providing for you with graphics and write-ups. And I'm really going to try to change. And my goal, Jonathan, is to try to help one person a day to have a better career, better life, more growth, freedom, and coolness. By having those conversations, I think I accomplished that. I don't get every day, but I know that I try to reach and light other people's candles, if you will. But scotthudspeth.com is going to be some really cool stuff coming because of you, man. I'm honored to be a part of your life, honored to have you on my team, and excited to see what the future holds for us, man.
You are too kind, my man. Thank you for being here. We will have links in the show notes back to Scott and his show and everything else. Thank you, my dear listeners, for tuning in. And that is a wrap for another edition of ResultsLeader.fm. If you are out there getting results for your clients and you want to be featured on the show, go to ResultsLeader.fm now and apply to be on the show. And if you love what you're hearing, share the show, give us a rating and review, do anything to help us get the message out there. Thought leadership is easy, but results leadership is hard. We'll catch you on the next one.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.